Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on WLBT Plus. My name is Cara Shirley, and I'm your digital news desk host. I hope that you are all having a wonderful day. It is Thursday, one more day until the weekend, and I am ready for it. Even though we're gonna have rather some rain in the forecast, I'm okay with that. I'm ready for the weekend. Well, we've got a lot of stories to get to today. Some big things happening in and around the Jackson area. And the first one I'm sure all of you have already heard about is the car, or rather the truck, that went into the water at the res today. Let's see. So it was a white pickup truck. It happened around 5 a.m. on Red Dot Road, which is a short street along a peninsula that's on the Ross Barnett. It's mostly used for fishing. Reservoir Police Chief Travell Dixon said that one person was found dead in the water and a second person was rescued and taken to the hospital. We don't have any word just yet on that person's condition, and it is not clear at this time how the vehicle ended up in the water or what caused the victim's death. But we will continue to bring you the information when it comes into us to let you know more on this. Now, if you're wondering exactly where Red Dot Road is, if you're not familiar with it, I have it pulled up right here for you on the screen. So we have the Natchez Trace Parkway right here, and this here is the Red Dot Road. I mean, if we zoom in on it, you can see we got vehicles there, and it's normally people up and down it fishing. But that is where the accident, or the incident rather, occurred. And like I said, we will keep you updated on the what's happening and what's going on with that. Now, another story that is here in around Jackson, it's in Copiah County rather. Second murder suspect was captured. So there were two suspects. Copiah County authorities say are responsible for a kidnapping and a murder that happened there. This is the gentleman on your screen here who was kidnapped. His body was found on a Monday on the side of Highway 472 by a Department of Transportation crew. His name is Billy Ray Jones. Authorities say that Jones had been burned very badly. And the suspects that are in custody are 50-year-old Matthew Nelson and 32-year-old Tyrell Bridges. The sheriff of Adams County said, Travis Patton, he said that Bridges was caught around 6 on Wednesday night. Now, the sheriff and the department special operations group arrested Bridges at a mobile home on Windy Hill Road. We here at 3 on Your Side were able to speak exclusively with the victim's father, and here's what he had to say.
I talked to the coroner this morning. He said he recommend cremating because the body's so messed up. You don't want to remember that.
Such a sad situation there. So both of the suspects that are in custody are charged with murder and kidnapping. And remember a few weeks ago when we told you about the inmates that had escaped from the Yazoo County jail? Well, one of them was still on the run. They got 3 pretty much immediately or very soon after their escape, but one remained at large. Well, he has been taken into custody. These guys right here are the ones that he got captured early, but this guy right here was taken into custody on Wednesday. So his name is Glenn Bassett, and now he is back at the Yazoo County Regional Correctional Facility where he escaped from. So good job to those guys for getting all of those criminals, inmates, back in custody. There's something sad that happened here in the Jackson area to a veteran. He's from New Orleans and he moved up here, and he was unfortunately lost everything in an attempt to do good for someone else. So what happened was he picked up some hitchhikers, and his name is Elvin Green. He said his name is Elvin Holland. As his green van was stolen on Monday, he gave a man and a pregnant woman a ride from the Travel Inn on Highway 80 to the Texaco station, which is about 3 miles away. So when they got to the Texaco station, the woman went inside, and Mr. Holland says that the man took his keys and forced him out of his van, taking all of his belongings. We're going to hear from Mr. Holland now.
Once that happened, he tells his woman, get in. She gets in and they take off. I immediately go and try to call the Jackson Police Department, and when I do, they sent a guy out there that was about 35 to 40 minutes late.
So Mr. Holland's green 2004 Nissan Quest has a Louisiana license plate. It's DV063546, and the man is described as a male in his 30s with a large, stocky build, tattoos on both arms with an afro. So if you know someone who maybe they match that description, or if you see a 2004 Nissan Quest van with the Louisiana license plate, please give JPD a call or Crime Stoppers and let them know that you see that you found that, or you see that, and hopefully we can get this veteran, sadly that he lost everything, at least get his vehicle back to him. It's just a very sad situation. So here in Mississippi, Governor Tate Reeves, not Kate Reeves, Tate Reeves, he signed a bill into law that's going to require ambulances providers to reach out to other providers when certain circumstances prevent them from responding to calls. For instance, if all of the ambulances in the area are they're out on calls, or it's a mass casualty type of event, they can, or now they're required to contact other ambulance providers so that they can get some help and make sure that the people get help too. So the new law is a direct result of an investigation that Three on Your Side did that revealed AMR failed to meet contracted response times in nearly half of all life or death calls in Hinds County. So because of this investigation that Three on Your Side did, this law will go into effect on July the 1st. So we are very happy about that, and this will be, of course, across state of Mississippi, and this is something that is just it's good for all of the citizens here in our state, because now we can rest assured that when 911 is called and an ambulance is needed, that that we will get the service provided that we needed. Now in Mississippi, we are now among 3 states that are at the risk of organizing a mass protest where it may outweigh the reward. Three on Your Side's Brendan Hall has the information, and he's going to bring it to you and tell you about it right now.
McKesson v. Doe, a case that stems from a 2016 protest in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, over the deadly police shooting of a black man. A police officer was hurt there after an unidentified protester threw a rock at him, leading the officer to file suit against this man, DeRay McKesson, who organized the protest.
The argument is that the organizer, the defendant in this case, is using his First Amendment free speech and free assembly, and should not be held accountable for actions taken by members of the crowd that he's part of.
A federal judge initially ruled in 2017 that McKesson could not be sued, but the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals overturned that decision. McKesson then appealed to the Supreme Court, and ultimately,
the Supreme Court simply declined to take the case. So the Fifth Circuit holding remains the holding in our 3 states.
University of Mississippi Distinguished Professor of Law Ronald Richlock explained that some feel the lower court's ruling is in line with criminal law.
If you take part in a mass group, there's a group of people and they decide to do something collectively illegal. If you share that intent, even if you didn't do anything wrong, you can be found criminally responsible for that.
On the flip side, critics like civil rights attorney Ben Crump feel the High Court's decision to not take up the case threatens our most fundamental right as citizens.
Does this now mean that the organizers of January 6th should also risk financial ruin? I mean, you had police officers hurt there. People were killed. So why is this law being targeted at Black Lives Matter?
McKesson v. Doe.
So that was Brendan who brought us that story. We will definitely be watching this and see what happens with it. So since the Supreme Court has said they're not going to hear the case, not really sure what that means for the future of it, but we will keep you updated here. So another big story that happened here a few weeks ago, everybody remembers Carly Gregg. She was a 14-year-old who killed her mother last month here in Rankin County. So Carly is, she is charged with the murder of her mother, Ashley Smiley, and then she is charged with the attempted murder of her stepfather. So the story here is how I just almost don't, I can't even have the words. I mean, so in a recording of the hearing that was posted by Jackson Jambalaya, Rankin County investigator, his name is Zachary Cotton, he was the first person to take the stand, and this was on Tuesday, March 19th. So they said that, he was saying on Tuesday, March 19th, dispatchers received a frantic call from someone saying that their child had shot them in the neck. So when the deputies arrived there, they were met at the door by Carly's stepfather, who she had shot, and a deceased female in the house, which was Carly's mother, Ashley. So this is what happened in that whole situation. Okay, so, and they got this from a security camera inside the house. So the security footage shows that Carly and her mother, Ashley, arrived home. And then in the kitchen, it showed Ashley, mother, going into Carly's room where she began removing some items. We don't know what those items were, but she was removing items while Carly was outside with the dog. When Carly came back into the house, she realized that her mother was in her bedroom. And then Carly walked into her mother's bedroom, and when she was seen again by the security camera in the house, she had her hands concealed behind her back. So she proceeds to go into the bedroom. They hear a gunshot on the security camera, followed by a scream and then 2 more gunshots. Ashley was shot 2 times in the face and once below the chin. After the shooting, the 14-year-old Carly walked back into the kitchen and set a heavy item on the counter and began texting from her mother's phone. She was texting her stepfather and asking him when he was going to be home, in what seemed to be an attempt to portray herself as being her mother. So between the texting of her stepfather and the stepfather arriving home, the 14-year-old called it and invited a friend over and told the friend that it was an emergency. So when she got there, Carly asked her friend if she had ever seen a dead body before. The friend said no. Then Carly proceeded to show her deceased mother, who was in the bedroom, and then she showed the gun that she used to shoot her mom, and then she told the friend, Carly told the friend, that she had 3 shots for her mom and she's got 3 more for her stepdad. 2 in the head and 1 in the chest. This is what Carly did. So by the time her stepfather arrived home, the interior security camera had been taken down and it was later found in the refrigerator. So when the stepfather walks in, he was met with a gunshot. He wrestled the firearm away from Carly, and he said that her eyes were really big, like she had seen a demon or something to that effect, and she was screaming and ran off. She was later found down the road by police. But we're going to take a clip real quick to listen to part of that court hearing.
She looks into the kitchen and then proceeds to walk into her bedroom, and then you hear a gunshot, a scream, followed by 2 more gunshots. Carly proceeds to return to the kitchen, concealing her hands behind her back. You hear a heavy object being set down on the counter, and then she proceeds to get Ashley's phone and begins texting on it.
So what is being said is that Carly had actually changed medications at the end of the week before the shooting, that she was on Lexapro and that she had changed medications. So it is a horrific situation, absolutely horrific situation, where this child tried to murder her stepfather. She murdered her mother, and now it's really torn a whole community up. So Carly, after she was taken to jail, she was being charged as an adult, and she was given a bond of $1 million. She is not out on bond. The bond has not been lowered, even though Carly requested it to be lowered. And while she is in jail, she's required to wear an ankle monitor and to receive a mental evaluation from a physician, which I think is something that is probably a very good idea, especially in this case. So it's a horrific situation. We're going to continue to watch the court case as it goes on to find out exactly what happens with the future of Carly. But it just blows my mind when I think about it. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have a check of our forecast. I know we got some rain in the future, unfortunately, but not bad rain, I don't think. I'm not a meteorologist, though. We'll let the meteorologist tell you that. We'll be back in just a minute.
WLBT Morning News gets you ready for what's happening outside your door.
Taking a look at our first alert radar this morning.
WLBT Morning News is where you'll find Mississippi's most accurate forecast and how to prepare for news that will impact your day.
Breaking news overnight.
And it's happening right now in Jackson.
On your side with WLBT First Alert weather and anything you need to know for a day with no surprises. Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app.
I'm in pain.
Real people.
It should be terrifying to all of us.
It was dangerous.
Real problems.
I mean, that's unacceptable.
How can we work to change things?
Real life solutions. Investigate TV Plus.
Watch weekdays at 2:30 on WLBT. WLBT Morning News gets you ready for sudden weather changes.
Taking a look at our first alert radar this morning.
It's where you'll find Mississippi's most accurate forecast and the only station giving you a 10-day weather prediction, not just 7.
Going to zoom into the Jackson Metro so you know what to expect as you head out the door this morning.
WLBT First Alert Weather is Mississippi's most accurate forecast from Mississippi's most trusted station. Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app. WLBT is Mississippi's most trusted station during severe weather.
And we are back, and we have with us our Peyton Garrison to tell us all about the weather. She is with our First Alert weather team. As a matter of fact, the QR code that is on the screen right now, if you scan that, you can get our app, First Alert weather app, and get all kinds of updates on the weather from Peyton and the rest of the team. Hello, Peyton.
Hello. Nice to see you this afternoon.
Nice to see you too. I was like, people are probably thinking, are you going to let her talk? Yeah. So tell us what we have going on out there.
You know, we've got some rain to talk about on the radar and even some storms as well. Fortunately, you know, today's chance of rain is nothing that's going to be a widespread impact. But if you live close to the metro along I-20 and northward, especially out towards the lower delta, this is where the best potential for some rain, some torrential downpours, and even some lightning will exist through this afternoon. The farther south you go, I think we stay pretty quiet, dry today, just warm, muggy, almost summer-like, especially for what we would normally expect for this time of year.
Humidity,
yes.
Lots of fun, right?
Lots of humidity.
So how's our weekend looking? I know we have more chances of rain in the weekend.
Yeah, so going forward for the rest of the day, again, some rain's possible, maybe even some wind and some hail along and north of I-20. Overall, very low severe weather threat for today, and I don't expect severe weather this weekend, but again, rain will be a part of the forecast. So I've highlighted your weekend forecast iffy for outdoor plans because, again, some rain and some storms will be possible, but it shouldn't be an all-weekend washout, but I mean, definitely going to be raining at times, especially overnight Saturday, Sunday morning, and you notice that big drop in temperatures as well. So while it's very warm and muggy out today, by Sunday it's going to be hard to get out of the lower 60s for high temperatures, a lot cooler than low or early to mid-April. So I mean, big changes on the way this weekend.
That is an incredible temperature drop. I'm not mad about it, but it's just having that, what is it, that 10 degree or more temperature drop.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be going from near 80 tomorrow and then low 60s Sunday, so about a 20-degree temperature drop just within the next 2-day span.
And are we looking good for next week, or can you tell us yet?
Yeah, I mean, next week looks fantastic. Once we really get past Sunday, we get that sunshine back next Monday, next Tuesday, and we'll also see some warmer weather by that time. Very nice, pleasant in the 70s early on. We'll probably see 80s towards the end of the week, but it doesn't look like that next chance of rain likely will hold off until maybe this time next week, maybe next Thursday, next Friday. So once we get past Sunday's wet weather, we'll see some nice, dry, and pleasant conditions by early next week.
I have to admit, last weekend it was a great weekend. So
yes.
I guess if we have to trade off,
yes.
We got the great weekend last weekend. Now we got to deal with a little rain.
Yeah, deal with a little bit of rain. Of course, everyone doesn't love some rain on the weekend, but fortunately, you know, once we get to next Monday, we'll start off next week on a sunnier note and pretty pleasant. But again, some rain's possible at times this weekend.
But that's also good because it washes away pollen.
Pollen, yes. The allergies, the sinus issues, I know have been impacting myself and multiple others. So hopefully the rain also helps this weekend with that.
Well, thank you so much, Peyton, for coming in and taking a moment of your very busy day to come and talk to me. And guys, we're going to cut to a commercial real quick. When we come back, I've got some more news in the Jackson area and some national stories for you. So we will be right back.
WLBT Morning News gets you ready for what's happening outside your door.
Taking a look at our First Alert radar this morning.
WLBT Morning News is where you'll find Mississippi's most accurate forecast and how to prepare for news that will impact your day.
Breaking news overnight.
And it's happening right now in Jackson.
On your side with WLBT First Alert weather and anything you need to know for a day with no surprises. Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app.
I'm in pain.
Real people.
It should be terrifying to all of us.
It was dangerous.
Real problems.
I mean, that's unacceptable.
How can we work to change things?
Real life solutions. Investigate TV Plus.
Watch weekdays at 2:30 on WLBT. WLBT Morning News gets you ready for sudden weather changes.
Taking a look at our First Alert radar this morning.
It's where you'll find Mississippi's most accurate forecast and the only station giving you a 10-day weather prediction, not just 7.
Going to zoom into the Jackson Metro so you know what to expect as you head out the door this morning.
WLBT First Alert Weather is Mississippi's most accurate forecast from Mississippi's most trusted station. Start your day with WLBT Morning News. Weekday mornings from 4:30 to 7 and streaming on the WLBT News app. app.
WLBT First.
And we are back. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me. Got some more stories and news of things that have happened here in the Jackson area. So 3 on Your Side has learned exclusively that a state trooper who was fired for requesting nude photos of his subordinates is now working with the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. Wow. So, in this investigation that 3 on Your Side did months ago, it was when a woman claimed that a female trooper sexually exploited her. These termination letters that were obtained by 3 on Your Side confirms that Master Sergeants Julius Hudson and Jeremy Lott were fired from MHP within the last 2 weeks. 2 days ago, Rankin County supervisors approved Hudson's rehiring at the Sheriff's Department. The trooper had been let go after a state investigation revealed that both men had received nude photos from then trooper Ivana Williams. Williams was fired back in February for unprofessional conduct, and Hudson admits to investigators that he was Williams' supervisor when he requested those photos from her. So he is now part of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. So the Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey has said, quote, "From my understanding and our background investigation, it was a policy violation from MHP and there were no accusations of criminal activity of any kind." So he is defending hiring Hudson, telling 3 on Your Side that can we say that it's okay? No, there were no criminal activity, or was no criminal activity, but it's a pretty serious policy violation. It's a pretty serious conduct there. And is that really someone that you would want as a sheriff or sheriff deputy? Not obviously my call to make. That was Sheriff Bailey's call and the Rankin County supervisors. So, we will definitely be watching this story and see if anything else unfolds from it. Now, here's a national story. Actually, it's an international story that's pretty crazy that has happened. It's in Rio de Janeiro. So this woman is accused of bringing her dead uncle to the bank to withdraw some money from the bank. There's a video of it right here, and you can see. So the police in Brazil arrested this woman Tuesday for allegedly wheeling her dead uncle into the bank to withdraw $3,000. A bank worker took this video of the corpse in the wheelchair being supported by the woman, and the woman is seen continuously trying to prop up the man's head, which keeps slumping over. She is seen trying to put a pen in his hand, getting his hand to hold the pen to sign some papers, and she claims that the man was alive when she went into the bank with him, but investigators are investigating it to see what the case was. That they say that he was dead for several hours before this. So that is wild. That is wild that she did that. I can't believe anybody would do that, but they did in Brazil. So almost like a bad version of Weekend at Bernie's or something like that. I don't know. Well, let's end today on a couple of happy stories. All right. So the Mississippi Aquarium has rehabbed some turtles. They were endangered, and they are releasing them today, or they released them today. Let me get this pulled up. These guys are adorable. So it was 16 endangered Kemp's Ridley sea turtles, and they were released in front of Edgewater Mall off of Highway 90 in Biloxi. The aquarium, animal care, and veterinary teams have been working to get the turtles back to full health and back into their natural habitat. And they were found stranded off the coast of New England during a cold stun event. So apparently they were cold and kind of froze. You know what? I understand. I don't like having to move when I'm cold. But these poor guys are going, well, not poor guys, they're good guys now. Very happy for them. They are getting put back into the ocean, and I hope that they do extremely well at that. I'm sure they will. And another fun thing for today is the National Day of whatever. Every day of the year has this is National blah 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 day or National this. We know that it's National Lineman Appreciation Day, and we are so thankful for all of the linemen in our lives that we don't even know about, maybe. It's these guys that run out when the power is out, doesn't matter what time of day it is, and they get out there to get the power and electricity restored. So, thank you very much. Thank you so much to the linemen out there. It's also National Columnist Day. It's National Animal Cracker Day, which I'm not crazy about animal crackers. They're kind of bland to me, but, they're fun to play with. You always got them and played with them on your table as a kid. So National Animal Cracker Day. And then my personal favorite for today is National High Five Day. Like, high five, Okay, so this is why I love this being National High Five Day. And it makes me think of my middle daughter. When she was younger, she saw two people kissing at the altar on a TV show that we were watching. And she said, "Ooh, that's nasty." And I said, "What?" She said, "Why would you kiss your husband? That's just gross." And I said, "Well, that's what you do when you get married. It seals the marriage." And she said, "Well, when I get married, I'm not kissing my husband. We can just high five each other." So maybe on her, I'll have to make sure that her wedding day in the future, far off into the future, is on National High Five Day, which is today, April the 18th, but it's the third Thursday in April every year. So I'm going to have to remind her of that. And we, of course, remind her of the fact that she's got to high five her husband always, every time we get a chance to remind her of that, pick on her a little. So, National High Five Day. High five your husband or your spouse or your loved ones or your significant other, whatever. I give them a high five today. Well, that is the end of WLBT Plus today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and make sure you are tuned back in for Studio 3, which is at 3, and we will have more news and weather for you on WLBT 3 on your side, Channel 3. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later.